76ers. Embiid-less, Paul George-less to start the season tomorrow. Or no, they lost last night, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what does Philly's season look like? Because they already had pretty high aspirations. I think I was saying last year, before we went down, when we started the podcast, I had Philly to win it all, right? And even when Embiid came back mid playoffs or at the end of the season, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, he's back. This is gonna go well. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And it was kind of going well, but then he had those issues when he was playing the Knicks. I don't know what was going on with his eyes or whatever disease he had or something, right? I think that went 6 games. That went
Yes.
6 games or
Yes.
something
They
like
lost
that,
the six.
right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Boston had a walk to the finals. Philly still wasn't 100%, but now that they're starting the year down their top two players, essentially, what does their season look like, and where do they end up?
The regular season is probably going to be what we see right now, like in and out of the lineups. I think like Embiid said he's not playing back to backs. We'll see if the NBA jumps in and says anything about that because
Yeah,
it's going
can
to
you
hurt their
say that?
product. That's what I'm saying. They're investigating Joel Embiid right now, because it's like, bro, like you're one of the biggest superstars in the league, and you're saying no back to backs. Even if that's true, maybe don't
Yeah,
say it out loud. You know what I'm trying to say?
yeah.
Paul George could get injured, do like just mopping his floor, bro. Like he could just slip on the water and just drop and break his knee. So like Paul George is like, I don't know what to. For me, just get. So they have Nick Nurse, who was the coach of that Raptors team that won the championship, where they strung Kawhi along. They're gonna have to do
Mm-hmm.
that. They're gonna have to, especially for Joel Embiid. They got to string along, just win games, and maybe try to fall in that 3-4 spot if it's possible, because you don't want to get into the playoffs facing what, Boston, New York again. New York got a little bit better. Potentially Orlando, a really good defensive team. Like you don't want to face Milwaukee. We don't know what they're going to do this year. Like you don't want to
Yeah.
fall into the first round and face one of those teams again. So my thing is just getting Joel Embiid healthy first, get him to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Paul George. You just got to string them along, man. You just got to take it game by game, and then take any fines that the NBA gives you for sitting your healthy superstars, because there's no way around it. Joel Embiid's too injury prone, bro. Way too injury prone.
So, I mean, like those games. Well, I mean, I guess PG will be back sometime soon. But
Should be.
how many games can they win just on Tyrese Maxey's back?
Well, I mean, like we just said, or like you just alluded to, the East is only top heavy. So I mean, if you can get some of those games in where, like, because there's still a good team. You have Tyrese Maxey, is a who is an all-star point guard. Um,
Yeah,
I anticipate Paul George being there more than Joel Embiid. So I think Paul George and Tyrese Maxey in the East, alongside with Oubre and Kyle Lowry and just like veterans on that team, I think they can win some regular season games against teams that are not that good.
yeah,
Like the Pistons, Wizards, Raptors, etc., etc. So just string them along, and then try to get to the playoffs, man. Because like the regular season doesn't matter in the sense of, like, when it comes to the actual playoffs, it comes to the finals, it comes to winning playoff series, it does not matter. But you got to get in, so just do what you have to do to get in, get those guys healthy, and then hopefully you can make some noise in the playoffs this year.
yeah, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, it's definitely going to be quite a strategic thing because you kind of want him. It's like you want to gear him up the whole year, as you're saying, right? Like a slow progress, slow process, but it's timed up perfectly for when you need him the most, right? So yeah, that's going to be interesting. I think yeah, if you have PG and Tyrese Maxey, that's enough to win you a good amount of ball games. You're gonna beat Indiana here and there as well. You're going to beat Orlando here and there. You're probably going to beat up on Miami. They'll probably get one from you, kind of thing. Um,
True.
so yeah, I think that should be the game plan for Philly for sure where they're at. But I just hope that it just doesn't you know blow up in their face at the end. And I mean blow up kind of similar like how it did last year. It just wasn't enough, right? Hopefully nothing else happens in between, right? Because that would kind of really count them out.